I cannot believe what Rick Bowness came out and said in his postgame presser after the Winnipeg Jets got eliminated. Now think about the usual coach postgame pressers you hear after his team gets eliminated. I'm gutted for these guys. It's such a great group. They played their heart out. I feel bad for them. They're such good people and they deserve better. Like that type of stuff. You always hear that even if the team played like dog water. The coach will come out and be like, I'm gutted for this great group of guys. But now Rick Bowness, he came out and ripped into this team. Seriously, my jaw was on the ground, saying things like he's disappointed and he's disgusted and that there's no pushback and basically just hitting his team below the belt over and over again in a position where they can't even go out and prove that he's wrong. They can't even go out and be like, you know what, that lit a fire under us. That's when coaches say things like this, to light a fire under a team, to create some desperation. Not when the series is already over. But now, maybe you saw my tweets about it. I was being pretty cryptic in how I was tweeting about the Winnipeg Jets last night. There's a bunch of guys that either are UFAs this offseason or next offseason, and there's been so much smoke around trade rumors for many guys in Winnipeg for a bunch of years now. I'm talking Pierre Dubois, who's probably already looking for apartments in downtown Montreal right now. I'm talking Mark Scheifele, who had a ton of trade chatter about him last offseason. Nothing came to fruition, but hey, tons of people were talking about it. Blake Wheeler had the C stripped away from him, and that was probably his last game as a Winnipeg Jet. Nikolai Ehlers has had trade rumors floating around him for years. And you've got guys like Logan Stanley who asked for a trade. Who knows what's going to happen with Adam Lowry, who doesn't have much leeway left as far as contract. I mean, at least Kyle Connor signed for 3 more years after this one, right, Jets fans? The biggest domino that might fall here is Connor Hellebuyck. He's one of those guys whose contract is up at the end of next season. And hey, imagine if this team gets blown up this offseason, all right? I'm talking Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers, a bunch of guys who were part of the fabric of the Winnipeg Jets franchise gone, right? And all of a sudden now, the faces of the franchise are Kyle Connor and Cole Perfetti and Connor Hellebuyck. How do you think Hellebuck's going to feel about that? I mean, this guy's an American. I'm not saying he's going to pull a Johnny Gaudreau or anything. I'm saying that he definitely might be looking elsewhere as far as teams if the team as he knows it right now gets completely blown up. But I mean, put yourself in Connor Hellebuck's shoes. I mean, I think Winnipeg is a great city. I enjoy it personally, but if you look at a lot of polls when they're anonymous to NHL players, what's the place you least want to play? Winnipeg is at or near the top a lot of the time. Now you're hearing your coach take pot shots at the core players and saying some really, really heavy stuff towards the core. It just doesn't look great at all. And the Jets are most likely going to go through a really big culture change this offseason, maybe even a rebuild. And again, if you're a top 5 goalie in the world in your prime, do you really want to stay through a rebuild in Winnipeg? I don't think so. I think Connor Hellebuyck would probably love to go to a place like Minnesota or Vegas or like you name it, right? I mean, it just makes sense from a free agent standpoint for Connor Hellebuyck to not remain a Winnipeg Jet. And I hate saying this, because to me, I love seeing the Winnipeg Jets succeed. The Fly Jets fly, the whiteout, the whole deal. I've been a huge fan of it since the beginning. I loved that they stripped a market from Atlanta, which was failing miserably, and brought it to passionate, hockey, crazy Winnipeg. But reality's going to set in here, Jets fans. It's going to become real here. It's not just going to be trade rumors, trade chatter for much longer. Make no mistake about it. There is going to be a blow-up this offseason for the Winnipeg Jets. The team you see on opening night next season will be vastly different than the one that got booted by the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday night. And ask Matthew Tkachuk when Johnny Gaudreau left. How do players feel when their best buddies and guys that they know are going to help the team compete when they leave? Ask the guys who are still there how they feel in that market. I mean, some of them rise to the challenge, sure, but a lot of them are saying, get me out of here. And we're going to see which of the Jets players are saying which right now. It's going to be big, Jets fans. Your team will not be the same next season. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.